Hi everyone, my name is Jamie Loomis. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and a certified personal trainer. Welcome to your hip and lower extremity health workout. This routine focuses on isolating the most important muscles in your leg to build strength, decrease pain, and decrease risk for lower extremity injury. The whole routine takes about 15 minutes, including this warm-up. So we are going to start with standing back extensions. 5 repetitions, going as far as you can go comfortably back, holding for 2 seconds at your end range, and relaxing. The next movement is going to be hip circles. So widen your feet a little bit wider than your hips. We're going to go 10 repetitions in each direction. After this, we're going to do what's called a PNF hip flexion opener, followed by a deep squat stretch, and then we'll get right into our strengthening exercises. Go ahead, switch directions of those hip circles. Nice, smooth motion, not forcing it, just helping to open up the hips and the low back before our routine. Okay, next we're going to be getting into that PNF hip opener or diagonal hip opener. You raise your knee up into a march and then in and across your body, across that foot, and then outside. So lift up and out to the side, up and across your other foot. We're going to do 10 repetitions on each side. Lift up and out, up and in. This just helps to open up the hip in all directions using a diagonal movement. Go ahead, we're going to switch sides. Now you're standing on the left. You may notice this is a little bit of a balance challenge too. If you're having a hard time doing it with good form, go ahead, you can hold onto a chair, countertop, something sturdy for support while you open up the hips. Lift up and out, up and in across your body. Nice, slow, controlled movement in this warm-up here. The last movement in our warm-up is going to be a deep squat stretch. So you open your feet wider than your hips, squat down as low as you can comfortably go, and just shift your weight from side to side. You can see I have my hands in this prayer pose. It just helps to stretch the wrists out too. Nice, gentle weight shifts back and forth, opening up the hips. Come out of that deep squat real quick and go back into it one more time. This is the last part of our warm-up before we get into our exercises. I'm going to be adding ankle weights during the routine just to add a little bit of an extra challenge. If this is your first time running through, go ahead and just start without any weight so you can feel the challenge on its own. If it feels easy going all the way through, then the next time you can go ahead and add that little bit of extra weight. So our first exercise is going to be what's called a straight leg raise. You're going to do a pelvic tilt first, just like I did, pulling my stomach in so my back is flat. Toes are pointed up towards my face, knee is locked straight, that right knee is bent so my foot is flat, raising my left leg just till it meets that right knee and slowly lowering it back down. We're doing 15 repetitions and taking a quick rest break before doing our next exercise. Last one here, and go ahead, you're going to take a little rest break. Our next exercise is going to be a VMO, straight leg raise. The only difference here is now your foot is turned out or your hip is externally rotated to isolate the middle part of your quadricep. It's a muscle that's infamously weak in the quadricep, so that way we isolate it to help make sure that our legs stay strong and balanced. Same as before, you're just lifting it till it meets your other knee. Back stays flat, keeping your stomach pulled in tight the entire time. This should be a slow, controlled movement, 15 repetitions, and then we're going to switch to doing it on your right leg. Okay, so short little rest break here. Make sure you do that pelvic tilt so your back is flat. Right side, toes pointed straight up towards your face, knee is locked, just raising it to meet that left knee. 15 repetitions, short little rest break, and we'll do the VMO straight leg raise on this side. Last one right here. and go ahead and take your short little rest break, and we will be getting into the VMO, straight leg raise. So you can see here my hip is rotated out, my toes are pointed out as I'm lifting my leg straight up. As you're doing these, just take note to see if one side feels more challenged than the other. If you notice that consistently each time you do this, you may want to do a few more repetitions on the side that feels weaker or that you're having a harder time with. That way you're keeping your legs nice and balanced. Last one right here, and now we will be turning onto your right side to do sideline hip abduction on the left. So you bring your hip slightly back on that left side, toes stay pointed straight, lifting back at about a 45-degree angle so you feel the muscles in your bottom tighten as you lift. We're doing 15 repetitions here, and then we'll be doing hip extensions in the same position. Make sure to keep your stomach tight and your back straight the entire time you are doing these exercises. Perfect. Now it is time for that sideline hip extension. So you're still keeping that left leg slightly elevated as you bring it straight back, squeezing your bottom at the end of the movement. Slow, controlled movement. You can see again my toe is pointed straight forward. 15 repetitions, and then we'll be going into what's called a sideline runner. Last one right here, and then we're going right into the next one, a sideline runner. So your hip is going in a nice smooth circle, just as if you were running or performing a bicycle movement. Notice how again that leg is still lifted up, so we're still using our gluteus medius muscle the whole time. You should be feeling a burn in your bottom with this. Try to keep again those toes pointed straight, the entire leg straight, stomach pulled in nice and tight. 15 repetitions here, and now we are going to be switching into hip circles. So now we're doing counterclockwise hip circles on that left leg, 15 repetitions. My toe and leg is still pointed straight, going back, squeeze in the bottom, keeping that back straight, stomach tight. After the 15 repetitions here, we're going to switch directions, and now we're doing clockwise hip circles. Nice, smooth, controlled. Again, pay attention to how much fatigue you have on this side so you compare it to the other side to see if you may notice one leg being weaker than the other one. Excellent job. We are going to switch sides. So now you're going to be laying on your left leg. Right leg is going to be doing the work, starting with that sideline hip abduction. You can see my leg is coming back at that 45-degree angle, and I have my thumb right on my bottom where you should be feeling that muscle work. Stomach muscles are tight, back is straight, toes pointed straight ahead. 15 repetitions here, and then we'll be getting into that sideline hip extension. Okay, time to switch. Leg stays up, and now we're kicking straight back, squeezing those glutes as we get all the way to the end range. 15 repetitions here. You may be able to notice I have a harder time on my right side. My right side is a little bit weaker, so I tend to do a few more repetitions on my right because I notice that as a trend with me. So just pay attention to what you feel when you're doing these exercises. Perfect. Time to switch into those sideline runners or bicycles. Notice that leg is still lifted up, toes straight ahead, nice, smooth, controlled circles. 15 repetitions, and then we'll be getting into those hip circles with the knee straight. Very nice work. Now we're getting into those hip circles with the knee straight. So we're doing clockwise circles on that right leg first. So leg is going behind you and circling around. 15 repetitions, and then we'll do the opposite direction or counterclockwise. Go ahead and switch directions. 15 repetitions the other way. You should be feeling that burn in your bottom right about now. If you need a short little break, go ahead and take it, but then jump right back in. Perfect. From here, we're going to go into some standing exercises. So now we are going to use those muscles in our hips that we're just using, but we're using them more functionally in a standing position. The first one is just called standing hip abduction. You're going to be standing on your left leg, nice and tall. That right leg goes behind you at a 45-degree angle, just like it did when you were laying on your side. You may notice it's actually a little bit more challenging on the leg you are standing on because now you are using that gluteus medius muscle functionally. Go ahead, we're going to switch sides, standing on the right leg. Try to keep your back and hips as straight as you can. If you feel yourself tilting or losing your balance at all, start by holding onto a chair or something light so that you can maintain your balance and use these muscles correctly. If you can't do it like this now, you will build up to it with this routine. We're doing 15 repetitions on each side, and now we're going to go into what we call the Y balance position. We're going to be standing on your right leg. You're going to tap forward, to the side, and all the way back. The biggest focus of this is actually focusing on your stance leg or the leg you are standing on. You are trying to keep your right knee centered over your foot as you tap your left leg in all different directions. Again, this way you are using that hip muscle functionally, not letting that knee come in, which significantly decreases your risk for knee pain and injury. We're doing 15 taps each direction, forward, side, and back. Then we will switch legs. Keep your stomach pulled in. Again, if this is really challenging, use a chair or something for support to begin. It's better to do it with proper form, using those little helps as needed. Time to switch sides. Shake it out, your hips are probably burning. Now we're standing on our left leg. You can see you're trying to keep that knee centered over the foot. Keep your bottom tight on that left side, stomach pulled in, nice controlled movements. Like I said before, my right leg is weaker, so I actually have an easier time when I'm standing on my left leg here and tapping with my right leg in all directions. So tap forward, to the side, back. Really focus on keeping that left leg as stable as you can. This is how we decrease that pain and risk for injury. Better to do it slow and controlled than just going through the movements. Just like the other side, we're doing 15 taps in each direction. Last one. And our next move is going to be a standing runner. So it's, again, just like we did laying on your side, but now we're standing and balancing while doing the same movement. So this should be more of a challenge for your right leg staying stable. Your left leg is going in a nice smooth circle, just as if you were running or riding a bicycle. You're acting like you're hitting with your heel, driving it back and up. 15 repetitions, and now we are going to switch sides, standing on that left leg and doing circles. 15 repetitions, stomach pulled in tight, gaze straight ahead, back is straight. Like I said, if you need a countertop or a chair at first, start with those, learn how to do these exercises with proper form. All right, getting into the last two exercises, we're doing a squat and powering up into a heel raise. So you're getting prepared, acting like you're jumping, but you're just powering up onto those heels, using the big muscles in your legs and the calves to help power you up. Deep squat, drive up onto your toes. 15 repetitions here, and then from here we're going to try to actually go into a jump squat. If that feels too challenging at this point, you're just going to do 2 sets of the deep squat into heel raises. Okay, so here we are doing a squat and powering up onto your toes, nice gentle hops, thinking about hitting on your toes, nice and gentle. Again, this should be a controlled movement. If you have any pain or discomfort with this, just go back to that last set, doing the deep squat, powering up onto your toes. Again, you will be able to build up to this by continuing to do this routine regularly. Everyone, that was it. Amazing job. We're just going to end with 5 standing back bends here, going back as far as you can comfortably go, 2-second hold at the end. This just keeps the back happy, healthy, and aligned. I like to end all my exercise routines with some sort of back extension mobilization to help decrease risk for pain, and like I said, just keep your spine happy and aligned. Everyone did amazing. Stick with this routine and you will be feeling better. Visit my website or YouTube page for more videos and information.